Today we'll be looking at the parts of a circle. Why? Because the circle is one of the most important geometrical shapes. That's why we make reference to the circle and parts of the circle a lot in science, mathematics, and engineering. It's one of the most popular plane shapes. So that's why we'll be looking at it today. And besides, we come across several parts of the circle in mathematics, radius, tangent, diameter, segment, and we're like confused. We don't know what it's all about. So that's why I want us to take our time to address this subject, the parts of the circle. Now, what is the circle? The circle, or a circle, is a geometrical shape formed by points that are equidistant from a fixed point from the center of the circle. That fixed point is the center of the circle. All these shapes, the circle is a shape that is formed when every other points are of the same distance from the center of the circle. P is the same distance from this point. Q is from the same. All these points that makes up this circumference, each and every one of them, they are from the same distance from the center. If that condition is fulfilled, then the shape you have is a word circle. What are the parts of the circle? Number one, O. This fixed point at the center is the center of the circle. O in this case is the center of the circle. Then the circumference. The circumference is the distance around a circle. When I say circumference, I mean this distance, this line, this curve that actually forms the circle is called the circumference of the circle. Arc. If I don't want to refer to the whole of the circle, maybe a part of the circumference, maybe from here to here, I call it an arc. I say this is an arc. From here to here is an arc. From here to here is an arc. From here to this place is an arc. From here to this place is an arc. Even if I draw this circle from this point round till I get to this very point without completing it, what I have is an arc. Until when I complete it, that is when I now have a complete circle. So the arc is any part of the circumference. So with reference to this diagram, what are the arcs? Can you tell me the arc? There are many arcs here, but I just want you to spot out three of them. QP is an arc. D through K. C, that is CD. CD is an arc passing through K, right? Then now look at NC is an arc. NC is an arc. NL is an arc. NL is an arc. So any of these curves that is a part of the circumference is an arc, etc., etc., because there are many of them. Then the next one, the radius. What is the radius? The radius is the distance between the center of the circle and any point on the circumference. The distance between here and this point on the circumference, point Q, is the radius. Can you spot any other radius? Can you spot any other radius? This is also a radius. OP is a radius. ON is also a radius. OC is a radius. Can you spot any other one? This point L, OL is a radius. The distance from the center of the circle to any point on this circumference, this curve that forms the circle, is the radius. So with reference to this diagram, please, what are the radius? We have OQ, we have OP, and we have ON. They are all radius based on this definition. The diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle. What is the diameter? The diameter is a line that passes through the center of the circle The end points are on the circumference. This line that passes through the center of the circle, because it passes through the center of the circle, it divides the circle into two equal parts. This part and this part. This line, ONP, that passes through the center of the circle is the diameter. The end points are on the circumference. This is a point on the circumference. This is a point on the circumference. It's the line that passes through the center of the circle. The end points, this beginning and this end, are on the circumference. So that is the diameter of the circle. And there is this relationship between the diameter of the radius. You can see I said this is a radius, this is a radius. Then the diameter is twice the radius. The diameter is twice the radius. So in any calculation, if I give you diameter, don't ask me of the radius. And if I give you radius, don't ask me of the diameter. Because the diameter is twice of the radius. If you know the radius, you multiply it by 2, you get the diameter. And if you know the diameter, if you divide it by 2, you get the radius. If I am twice as tall as you are, then definitely you are half my height. If the diameter is twice the radius, then the radius is half of the diameter. Okay, the sector. The sector is the portion of the cycle bounded by two radii. What is the meaning of radii? Radii is the plural of radius. Now, from here to here is a radius. From here to here is a radius. So, the region bounded by these two radii is called the sector. This reminds you of what? The pizza. Your pizza is splitted in what? Sectors. So you eat the sector of pizza. Region OQP, this region bounded by these two radius, becomes the sector. So sector, I have O region OQP. The chord. The chord is a straight line joining any 2 points on the circumference. This is a point on the circumference. This is a point on the circumference. The line joining them, straight line joining them, is a chord. There can be other chords in a cycle aside this. Now, between this point and this point is a chord. Between this point and this point is a chord. You may ask, oh, is the diameter also a chord? Yes, the diameter is the longest chord in the circle. It is the only chord that passes through the center of the circle. That's why it's the longest. This is a chord from here to here. If I join it, it will give me another chord. So a chord is a straight line joining any 2 points on this circumference. With reference to this diagram, can I get my chord? I think CD. There may be other chords, but let me just make use of this CD. Now, the longest chord in the cycle is the diameter. The next is the segment. This chord actually divides this entire cycle into 2 parts, a smaller part and a bigger part. This smaller part is called the minor segment. And the bigger portion is called the major segment. So a segment is formed by a chord and an arc. Segment equal to chord plus arc. Finally, The last part of the circle I want us to identify is the tangent. The tangent is a straight line that touches the circle at only one point. The tangent is a straight line that touches the circle at only one point. Based on this definition, can you identify the tangent from this diagram? Can you? Okay, xy is a tangent. Another tangent, xu, is a tangent touching the circle at point T. This one is touching the circle at point L. Identify the following parts of the circle. Line CA, line OA, OB, point O. What do we call this point O? Region X, region Y, line VU, line PQ, line ST. So you find out the names. What do we call them? The questions are just too easy, and I know you'll be able to handle them with what you've learned so far. So it's been a pleasure being with you. Hope to meet you in my next video. Thank you.